D2 Word Life here with James Ellsworth's biggest fan, Riptides.
No, I do not like that no chin son of a bitch.
Oh, come on. We all know you're a big fan of goddamn the Chinless Wonder.
No.
As a matter of fact, it was during the 2017 time period where Rico would have returned. That way they could be a tag team called the Chinless Chops.
No. No. That'd just be horrible.
They'd be tag team of the decade. I know you call me a son of a bitch. But today we are reviewing the 2017 Elimination Chamber event. That was a SmackDown only pay-per-view that took place February 12, 2017 in Phoenix, Arizona with an attendance of 11,000.
Yep.
And I hate to say this, but when we're talking about specifically two matches, we know what we are. If we sound a little emotional, it's for obvious reasons. But we're going to try to get through this review the best we can here.
Yeah.
Shout out to the pre-show match where Mojo Rawley defeated Kurt Hawkins in a one-on-one singles match. There you go. That's all you need to know about that.
Oh, I forgot. I even forgot who the fuck that was.
Yep. But the pay-per-view itself kicked off. Oh, yeah. Before I even get into it, the commentators for the night for this event was
JBL.
Where's JBL, David Otunga, Tom Phillips, and Marlo Renarlo, or I think I butchered his name. No Michael Cole on this show, even though that made you sad.
Nope, that's what I'm going to be doing next to your favorite.
Nah. It's like, no. Anyway. You make me suffer through one more Michael Cole match, I'll make you suffer through a whole pay-per-view. Don't think I won't. You know, WWE had some great banger pay-per-views that we've been freaking discussing, but they also had crappy ones too.
Yes.
So don't think I won't.
Doing something that would be fucking hilarious.
If I have to suffer, we both have to suffer. Keep that one in mind.
Yes, but I make you suffer every day, though.
I will not stand to be insulted that way. That's why I'm sitting down.
Is that why you're sitting down?
Yes, I know. I'm going to make that into a t-shirt. That seems to be turning into my slogan lately, too. It's just a picture of my character sitting down with a caption saying, I will not stand to be insulted this way. That's why I'm sitting down. I can still see me doing that for a shirt now. But anyway, off topic. The pay-per-view kicked off proper with a one-on-one match featuring veteran Mickie James taking on a pre-man Becky Lynch in what would be considered a dream match today.
But what the fuck
in a one-on-one match?
Wearing? She was wearing a fucking see-through outfit.
Well, she was wearing, a kind of like semi-see-through outfit, but this was during your steampunk era, too, before the man kicked off. A little over a year later. Well, yeah, and before we get into this match, fun fact, the Elimination Chamber 2017 took place a little over a month after I got this YouTube channel started. That's how long I've been around uploading videos on YouTube. Little fun fact for my followers. Subscribers, but anyway, your thoughts about this Becky Lynch Mickie James opener?
It was good.
Yeah, today would be considered a dream match, but I've seen a lot better matches from both. I mean, they were just, it was a fresh feud at the time. They were pretty much doing the motions, but the collar and elbow tie-up that started the match, that was the longest freaking lockup I seen, though.
Yeah.
For that start, where they literally just held each other and then went out the ring and still in that position. Starting position, like, huh? Well, I thought that was creative. And then Mickey James at one point did hit the Mick kick, only for Lynch to kick out.
Yeah.
After arguing and a couple more near falls, Mickey James countered. Mickey James went for the DDT that she's known for, ripping off Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
But Becky Lynch countered it into a schoolboy pin to win the match and get the 3 count and win the match. Your thoughts on the finish to this one?
It was good. It was interesting to see Mickey James go back at that time.
Yeah, and let's not forget it was Mickey James who returned to WWE like a month prior to this event.
Great stop. Yeah.
When she was revealed as Alexa Bliss's partner.
Yeah. When she was announced as the female luchadora.
Yeah. Si, senor.
Yellow Furman.
God damn it, dude. You'll never let that go. Ever since the No Mercy review, you'll never let that go.
Nope.
That was a good little opener for what it was. I mean, both women had better matches. But hey, it could have been worse. We've seen worse women's matches on these reviews already. And we're going to be seeing more, too, of that, unfortunately. But hey, it was all right. It served its purpose. It was a good opener. Get the crowd pumped for the rest of the show. That's pretty much what it did.
Yeah.
Then after that match, immediately afterwards, Carmella and your boy got interviewed in their little skybox. And yes, I'm talking about the Chinless Wonder here.
No, he's your boy. You're the one that's talking about him right now, so he's your boy.
Just on a quick side note, if Shawn Michaels were to ever kick James Ellsworth with a super kick, would that be considered the no-chin music? God, we never got that, but that would have been funny. Right?
Yes, it would have.
But anyway, Carmella pretty much said that the wrong woman won that match, and when they asked James Ellsworth's opinion, well, he was like, pretty much said the same thing, and this would be a repeat, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, the chinless yes man.
The chinless yes man.
Anyway, the next match was featured to be a handicap match, but Dolph Ziggler facing Kalisto and Apollo Crews. Why was this match even on? I didn't really feel like this should have been a pay-per-view quality match.
Well, that's because Dolph Ziggler, the week before the pay-per-view, was running his mouth saying that he could beat both Apollo Crews and Kalisto.
Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan made the match for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was going to be Kalisto and Crews versus Ziggler, a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah. Yeah, and when Kalisto made his entrance after Apollo Crews did, Dolph Ziggler came out and snuck attack him, throwing him up against the entrance Titantron set. And for most of the match, it was a singles match between Ziggler and Crews here. And after a little bit of back and forth, Kalisto eventually came out, selling all those injuries, and despite making it pretty much a singles match for most of it, and the fact that Kalisto was injured, Ziggler still couldn't get the job done.
Nope.
And the match ended when freaking Kalisto performed a spin kick to Ziggler, followed by the delayed spin-out powerbomb by Crews. And Crews got the pin.
Yeah.
Over Ziggler. And I'm just like, What? Well, this was kind of a dud match to begin with. But then after the match, Ziggler got his heat back by attacking both of his opponents with the steel chair and then Pillmanizing Cruz's ankle twice.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this one?
It didn't really need to be on the pay-per-view, honestly.
It felt like an angle they could have just ran on SmackDown.
It could have been on SmackDown, but I guess they needed to have a filler match or something.
I mean, that's what it felt like. It felt more like a filler match, right? More than anything, but I guess if the goal was to get Ziggler more heel heat, I guess that was accomplished. But other than that, the match kind of lacked or dragged.
Honestly, I'd give it -5 stars.
Well, we'll discuss that during the star ratings, but I'm not too far behind you. But you know what match wasn't a freaking dud? The next match, which was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Turmoil Tag match.
Yes, we had the Man Beast.
Yes, it was the Man Beast, Rhino, whose last appearance was on this series was at the last one, which was the 2001 Backlash review. And he was teaming with your other boy, Heath Slater.
No, that was yours. That's the Wendy's man.
No.
It's the Wendy's chick.
He ain't my boy. And then the first team they fought were your boys, Breezango. Remember that tag team wearing the Fashion Police outfits?
Oh, God.
I could say something, but it wouldn't be exactly PG or appropriate, so I'm just going to move on.
They looked like fucking... Well, I'm sorry to say, they looked like... Sorry.
Yeah, moving on. But anyway, after a fairly quick back-and-forth tag match between the two, Rhino performed the Goron Fandango to eliminate Breezango from the match. And the next team that come out...
Their outfits that they wore on that night were just too much.
Yeah, just look at that. I'm just like, I looked at their outfits. I'm just like, why do these outfits remind me of those random ass greasers from Friday the 13th Part 5?
Because they were part of the greasers from
Friday
the 13th Part 5.
If you've seen Part 5, you know the two I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm just like, what the hell? I'm just like, okay, I know they were a weird comedy tag team, but that looked just too much. They could have been wearing different outfits, not the same weird outfit.
Yeah, that's why I said it made them look like what I said.
But anyway, the next team that came out after that was the Vaudevillains, which was Aiden English and Simon Gotcher.
Oh, God.
Actually, a little fun fact. Aiden English is legally the son-in-law of the late great Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Aiden English did marry Eddie Guerrero's daughter Shaw, so we know that.
Yeah.
But needless to say, the Vaudevillains didn't last too long. They were actually quickly eliminated when Slater pinned English after a smash hit.
Well, honestly, I forgot that that was a tag team. They were so non-memorable.
Maybe they were more memorable in NXT, but on the main roster at a time when Vince didn't take tag team wrestling very seriously, they didn't last. They didn't make much of an impact.
No.
And of course, the next team that came out afterwards were the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Pre-Yeet and pre-No Yeet.
Pre-Uso Penitentiary.
Yes. pre-yeet and pre-no yeet. And of course, the Usos got the upper hand on Slater and Rhino, and Slater and Rhino were eliminated when Jimmy performed a super kick onto Slater.
Yeah.
And then the next team to come out were, at the time, the reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions, American Alpha, which was Jason Jordan and Shorty G. I mean, Chad Gable.
Honestly, I forgot he had fucking hair, too.
Yeah. So used to Chad Gable these days with a short haircut. It's weird looking at old surgeon with long hair now.
Yes. And we'll never see Jason Jordan wrestle again because of a neck injury.
Yep. Yeah, and the story going is the Usos were actually feuding with the American Alpha at that time. And after a little bit of back and forth action, the Usos got eliminated when Gable pinned Jey Uso after a schoolboy, but following that elimination, both Usos attacked both members of the American Alpha tag team. And just pretty much left them laying.
Beat down.
Yep. I guess you can say they yeeted them, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Beat them down. Beat them down, just left them laying.
Down.
Yeah, they beat the American Alpha down and just left them laying for the last team, which was the forgettable Ascension. I forgot they were even around then. To try to pick up the scraps.
Gimmick, even when they did it with Cody Rhodes when he was Stardust, when they became the Cosmic Wasteland.
No one ever wants to remember that. Not even Cody Rhodes wants to remember that. That's why he left. And became a big star that he is today. But then, even with the American Alpha totally laid out, the Ascension still couldn't get the job done. Like, what? And then after some back and forth between the two, it's like Jordan and Gable performed their finisher to Victor of the Ascension to retain the championships. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of that finisher.
I don't even know what the name of the damn finisher was.
It's like Grand Aptitude or something. Whatever it was their finisher, the American Alpha finisher to win and retain the belts. And quite frankly, this, in my opinion, should have been just a 2-on-2 match between the Usos and Alpha Academy with a story going into it. They didn't,
but they did that eventually down the road.
But yeah, your thoughts on this whole tag team turmoil match as a whole?
It was okay.
There was.
It was kind of lackluster, a little bit, but it was fine.
Oh, and shout out to your boy Rhino who had the Rico chops.
Rhino always had the chops.
Yeah, but they were full thick like Rico's was.
Okay. He had them Rhino chops.
Okay, enough of this, but I thought the tag team turmoil was okay for what it was. It's kind of hard to score turmoil matches to one tag match after the next.
Well, that was just the start of the tag teams just being taken more seriously than what they were.
Yeah, and then it went back to being crap, and then now they're being taken seriously again. It's like, really? They don't know how to make up their mind.
No.
So, as a match as a whole, I thought it was okay, but I would have been satisfied with just the Usos versus Alpha Academy, or American Alpha Tag Team match instead.
You literally called them the Alpha Academy.
Yes, I am aware of what I said. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's a different tag team in this current era that just, I think, disbanded. It wasn't the team back then. Jeez.
It was pre-Alpha Academy.
Yeah. Anyway, The next match on the card was another women's match, and it was between Natalia and Brie Bella. Or Nikki Bella. I keep... Fuck! That's a second...
Damn it! Look at them! God damn!
God damn, I can't... Jesus Christ. How the fuck am I even still doing this shit when I can't even differentiate the two?
Well, they are twins, but one has a bigger rack than the other.
Yes, and Jimmy and Jey Uso are twins, and I knew them apart when they had their match earlier in this show, so what's that tell you?
You're dumb as hell?
Shit. You are too. Yeah.
You didn't deny it, so it's true.
But anyway, it was Nikki Bella taking on Natalia in this one-on-one match. So, yeah,
It was kind of lackluster, too.
I understand the story they were trying to build with Natalia being the one to attack Nikki previously at the 2016 Survivor Series and trying to do a whodunit storyline and everything like that, but I just wasn't buying it. I didn't buy it back then, and I wasn't buying it now. Because everyone knew it was probably Natalia, and I thought about that back then. When this was actually happening in real time. Right?
Well, I knew it was Natalia because you could tell when Nikki Bella was fucking named captain of their team and she was begging to be co-captain, she fucking had a plan.
Exactly. It was plainly obvious.
And anyone that didn't see that coming is a fucking moron.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Survivor Series 2016, we will eventually review that at some point in the future. But
Yes.
But these two were going at it somewhat. At one point, Natalia got the sharpshooter locked on. It looked like Nikki was going to tap out, but she didn't. And eventually
She
after...
tried to do an arm bar. She tried to do a leg bar.
Yep. Then she kept taunting Nikki with the whole "you can't see me" thing because this was at the time when Nikki and John Cena were dating, and it just felt cheesy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This whole angle felt cheesy, especially when she said, "Yeah, John Cena will never marry you, Nikki," which ironically turned out to be true.
Well, that's also because she was cheating on him too, so...
Yeah. Oh, that's dripping with irony right there. How she got that one correct.
The thing was, she was trying to move too fast, and John Cena had just gotten out of the relationship with his former girlfriend.
Yeah. So it's like, after some back and forth encounter and everything else, those two actually got counted out, which meant the match ended in a double count out. Unsatisfactory ending right here.
Yes.
And then those two just kept brawling with each other, going all the way to the backstage area, including later on in the show when they were still brawling backstage. Including freaking... And during that brawl backstage, Nikki tripped over a makeup table, spilling powder and makeup all over herself and Maurice. And that's how that ended.
It was funny as hell, too, because she's like, "Get her away from me! Get her away from me!" I'm like, wow, when you say you're fearless, bullshit.
Mm-hmm. The match was alright for what it was. The ending kind of sucked, and the backstage brawl was funny, but still not worthy for me to give it a more than an average score, though.
Yeah.
If that, right?
Yeah.
So was I entertained? A little bit. Was it the best match on the card? No, it was not. And then after the match, we go back up to the skybox where freaking
my boy, the Chinless Wonder.
No, where your boy, the Chinless Wonder, and Carmella were still at.
Nope, he's your boy.
And Carmella made a comment saying those two are out of control. And your boy, the yes man, was like, yeah, out of control.
I never liked James Ellsworth anyways.
Oh, come on. You know you liked James Ellsworth. Hell, I even heard back then that you hoped he would be a future champion WrestleMania main eventer.
No. No. Hell no.
Yeah, but none of that.
Fuck no. He was not even worthy to be in the WWE.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
surprised they kept him as long as they did.
Oh, come on. You know you idolize James Ellsworth for the fact that finally someone that wrestles you have a bigger chin than.
Everyone had a bigger chin than him.
Okay. That's enough James Ellsworth puns for now. The next match on the card was, I guess you can say it was somewhat of an emotional match knowing who's in it, and that was the late Luke Harper taking on Randy Orton in a one-on-one match.
A.K.A. John Huber.
And the story built behind this one was Luke Harper's paranoia about Randy Orton, the 2017 Rumble winner, being in the Wyatt family to start with.
Which was true.
And then Harper got kicked out of the Wyatt family, supposedly setting up this match between the two.
Yeah.
Now, your thoughts on this back and forth type match, because it could have gone either way from what I seen, but we knew they were going to build momentum for Orton going into WrestleMania 33.
Well, Luke Harper's paranoia was true.
Yep. And this match was great. It was okay. Luke Harper was taking the fight to Orton during this whole thing. Did not look like a chump at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, after some good, long back-and-forth action, which could have gone either way, Harper did attempt to do his discus clothesline finisher, only for Orton to counter into an RKO and win the match. That way.
Yep, he hit the RKO out of nowhere.
Yep. So, your thoughts overall on this entire match? Like, what are some spots that stood out to you?
Well, Luke Harper said that he was going to show Randy pain, and he showed Randy a lot of pain.
It's like, yep. So anyway, yeah, with that being said, this was if you thought that was emotional watching Luke Harper, yeah, that's nothing compared to the main event.
He also fucking countered Randy Orton's DDT.
Yeah, that was a good spot. Trying to hold it together here. We still got the main event left.
Yeah.
But, you know, even though Luke Harper lost this match, it was a strong showing, knowing that he could have had potential being a single star. Which I think that's what WWE was trying to push him for to do at that time.
He was a single star.
Well, yes, he was a single star, but I'm pretty sure they were trying to give him a bigger push at that time.
They were trying to get him a bigger push, and then it kind of flopped afterwards.
And, you know, Luke Harper in the WWE is more known for being a tag team competitor with Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt. In the long run, anyway, which really ain't that bad for his legacy there.
Well, yeah, and honestly, if you want to really see very emotional, watch the replay on Raw for Eric for the Wyatt 6.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like, I don't want to dwell on this one more than I really have to, especially when we got that main event to talk about.
Yeah.
All I can say is rest in peace to the late Luke Harper or Brody Lee, whatever you want to call him. He was taken from us way too soon.
Brody Lee, a.k.a. John Huber.
Yep, he was taken from us way too soon.
Yeah, from COVID. Because COVID ruined his lungs and then he got a lung problem.
Yeah, it was mostly a lung problem, but COVID started it. From what I understand, back in late 2020.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that year. That year sucked. And God, it's going to suck reviewing some of those 2020 shows. We're going to have to do that too, And that year was hokey. As you and I both know.
Yes.
But anyway, after that, they went backstage into the whole Nikki Bella and Natalya fight. We already spoke about that one, so we don't need to repeat it.
Yep.
But the pre-main event was the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. It was Alexa Bliss defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Naomi. This one, I believe, was a decent match.
It was decent. Yeah, there was no interference, which I was happy about.
Yeah, there was no Mickie James at ringside, no Carmella, no Chin. It was just a straight one-on-one wrestling encounter between these two ladies. And what are some spots that stood out? Before we talk about the finish, what are some spots that stood out to you in this women's title match?
It was back and forth very well.
It's like, yeah, both women looked like they had great chemistry with each other putting together this match.
Yeah.
Including at one point, Alexa Bliss almost got the win by putting a feeler ropes, but the referee caught it.
Yeah.
But then near the end, Bliss went for the Twisted Bliss finisher on Naomi. Naomi got her knees up and then hit her split-legged moonsault finisher to pin Bliss and win the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Well, she tried to hit the split-legged moonsault the first time, missed.
Yeah.
And then Alexa Bliss went and did her Twisted Bliss, got fucking kneed in the gut.
Yep.
And then she dragged her ass right back to the stuff to hit her with the split-legged moonsault yet again.
Yeah, but is it just me? But on Impact, did it look like friggin' Bliss was in the middle of turning her body for the move? Because it looked like it hurt.
Well, Twisted Bliss does hurt because when you get...
No, I'm talking about when Bliss took that split-legged moonsault finish. It looked like she was kind of readjusting herself to take the move, but it kind of didn't look good.
Yeah.
You notice that too, even on the replay, it looked like her body was kind of still twisting in position to get to the flat pin spot.
Yeah.
Or something, but either way, I thought this was a decent women's match. I still say the best women's match of this card was the opener between James and Lynch, but these two did what they had to do. They told a story. And this was Naomi's first championship win in WWE.
Yeah.
And afterwards, she gave a little speech afterwards about how she's going to be going to Orlando as the champion, which WrestleMania 33 did take place in Orlando, Florida, a month after this. And I know we'll review that when we get to it at some point. Just so bear with us here. But and it looked like Naomi was emotional talking about her championship win.
Yeah.
Speaking of emotional, now's the point where we talk about the main event. The reason why I chose this pay-per-view to start with, to review.
Yeah.
In the main event, it was the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. And it was John Cena defending the title against AJ Styles, The Miz, Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, and the late great Bray Wyatt. Okay.
Honestly, that one I forgot Corbin had hair too. What? He's been bald forever.
Well, shit. You're used to modern superstars with their short haircuts, and then all of a sudden you see them old, start out with long hair. You're like, I'm not used to that anymore. I forgot.
Nope.
Jesus Christ, if Chad Gable and freaking Baron Corbin had a hair versus hair match back then, they both would have lost.
Yeah.
But the match started. It's like the entrance of the Stars getting in the chamber was all right, but I liked Bray Wyatt's entrance when he came out with a lantern and looking all intimidating to the others that were already locked in the chambers at that point.
He always came out with a lantern.
And just getting on the side of the pond, just staring at him like, ooh, intimidating. Right?
Yeah.
Ugh. But anyway, the two men that started off this match was AJ Styles and John Cena. And John Cena defeated AJ Styles to win the championship, which this was number 16 for him. 2 weeks prior at the 2017 Rumble event, in one of the best matches I've ever seen. We're going to have to review that at some point. But then after about 5 minutes of those two just sprawling, Dean Ambrose, who was Intercontinental Champion at the time, was the next participant to get into the chamber.
The Lunatic Fringe.
Now known as John Moxley, but...
Who might come back to WWE from rumors.
Yeah, but those are just rumors. I'm a guy who doesn't believe rumors. I believe it when I see it. And then after some more devastating action, Baron Corbin, I believe, was the next person in. Baron Corbin and all his hairy goodness.
That just sounds wrong. That just sounds totally wrong.
I know.
You enjoyed his very goodness, didn't you?
I'm just fucking kidding with you. I always said that because you were like, I forgot Baron Corbin had hair.
I literally forgot that he had hair.
And then after I said that, I realized how weird that is.
I'm just so used to seeing him with no hair, even being bald.
And after I said that, I realized how weird that sounded.
I swear, people, we are not weird. Well, I'm not weird. He's weird.
You claim you're not weird, but yet you went around calling Los Conquistadors yellow sperm men. Okay. Totally not weird. I gotcha. You know that's the biggest lie you've ever said on this channel. I'm not weird. But you know, Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose had a feud going into this. Freaking were just beating the hell out of each other in the chamber, all over the place.
Well, that's because I think a couple weeks prior or so, Dean Ambrose beat Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental title.
Oh yeah, I made a freaking slight error. It wasn't Baron Corbin who came out next. It was Bray Wyatt who came out number 4, and then Corbin was number 5. But you know, both had their moments in the chamber, right? But going back to this brawl with Dean Ambrose here and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin had everyone down. He was the only one left standing. Number 6, the last entrance was The Miz, who was reluctant to even get into the chamber. He was like, I'm not getting in there. And then all of a sudden, Dean Ambrose scored the pinfall over Corbin there, making Corbin the first one eliminated, right?
Yeah, well, that's because the Miz knew what was going on in the fucking... Because he's been in the Elimination Chamber once before, prior to this event.
Yep.
That he fucking got damaged up hella bad.
Then after the match, after Corbin's elimination, Corbin went all berserk and just proceeded to destroy Dean Ambrose, beating the hell out of him, smacking him onto the chain link fencing walls, and then throwing him through one of the chambers itself. And the Miz just looked there like all shocked and wide-eyed and was like, oh my God. Like, for a second there, it looked like Miz had some sympathy for what the hell happened to Ambrose. Right?
Yeah.
But then after...
But of course, he took advantage of it like a dick he was.
But then Ambrose was laid out, and right after freaking Miz knew that Baron Corbin was completely out of the chamber, destruction was done, he snuck in there and pinned Ambrose to eliminate Ambrose from the match.
Yep.
And of course, it was a short-lived celebration. Because
he got pinned next.
It was a short-lived celebration because Cena came in there, and after like a wild turnbuckles, got freaking Miz off the turnbuckles, hit him with the AA or FU, whatever you want to call it, and eliminated the Miz.
I still call it the FU. I don't give two shits what they fucking say.
And I'm just like, good. We don't need to see another Miz defeats John Cena freaking pay-per-view. That one the WrestleMania 27 one we reviewed was bad enough. Meaning the last 3 men in the chamber was Cena, Bray Wyatt, and Styles. And yes, John Cena dominated for a good portion. But then AJ Styles came back and laid both of them out. But then...
And Bray Wyatt laid out everyone.
Then Bray Wyatt laid out everyone, including John Cena, who hit with his sister Abigail to pin Cena and eliminate him.
Yeah, because John Cena was going for the FU, and then he reversed it into the sister Abigail.
Yep. Thus meaning the last two men in the chamber itself was Styles and Wyatt, and there'd be guaranteed to be a new WWE champion since Cena was champion going in and he just lost.
Yep.
And these two guys, man, jeez. They had a little mini match with each other, and Styles at this point was beaten down, wore out, being one of the first two in. And Styles got a 450 splash done on Wyatt. That was a 2 count near the end, right? And then Styles did one mistake. Instead of going for the Styles clash, he decided I'm gonna go for the phenomenal forearm.
And it got reversed and just.
And then right when he went flying, Bray Wyatt reversed it to the sister Abigail to get the 1, 2, and 3 in the win.
Yep.
And won his first of 3 world championships.
Yep.
In a match, in an ending that now, it's hard looking back on knowing what we know.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed watching the ending. Or emotional, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it is his first championship that eluded him his whole entire career.
Up to that point.
And he finally won it.
And of course, in the long run, with Bray Wyatt celebrating in a moment that I gotta admit, at the time I didn't really think too much of when I seen it back in 2017 for the first time, but looking back on it now, it has a whole other meaning to me.
Yeah.
And, of course, ultimately this would be the match to set up Orton and Wyatt at WrestleMania 33.
Yep.
So, your thoughts on this Chamber match as a whole, from what you saw?
Brutality.
Yep. That was a good...
Just brutality.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we gotta give this detail. Randy Orton did emerge from the backstage area seeing Wyatt celebrate, thus giving a little hint for WrestleMania that year.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was Elimination Chamber 2017. Now let's go to the star ratings. Becky Lynch defeating Mickie James in a one-on-one match.
Just 3.5.
You get about 3.5. I mean, back then it was average. Nowadays it would be considered a dream match, right?
Yeah.
Apollo Crews and Kalisto defeating Dolph Ziggler. Half star.
-5.
Damn, you're more. I said half star, but okay.
Negative.
-5. The Alpha Academy. God damn it, I did it again. American Alpha retaining their SmackDown Tag Team Championships in that Tag Team Turmoil match. About 3. I'd give it about 3.5.
I'd give it a 4.
Yep. Natalia and Nikki Bella's match ending with a double countout mixed with all the backstage brawling. Ugh.
2.
Yeah, 2. Really wasn't into that. But hey, you gave it a higher score than that freaking handicap match. Randy Orton defeating Luke Harper in a one-on-one match. I give that a 4.
4.5.
Yep. Naomi defeating Alexa Bliss, 3.5 to win the women's SmackDown Women's title. I give it 3.5.
3.
And of course, the main event with the late great Bray Wyatt defeating John Cena, Styles, Miz, Ambrose, and Corbin in the Elimination Chamber match to win his first WWE Championship.
5.
1,000 stars out of 5.
Infinity stars, bitch.
Infinity just can't put a. Just it would feel wrong putting a score on a Bray Wyatt moment like this.
No.
And a moment that lives on forever for his legacy. So, infinity. So overall, what would be your final grade for the 2017 Elimination Chamber event?
I guess an 8.
It's like me. It's like what you said. A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might kind of cut out when you said A. Anyway, I don't want to look at it through nostalgia or because of who won the main event. I got to judge this as a whole. And besides 2 matches on this card, every other match seemed dull or meh. So I'd have to round it out, and I have to freaking give it a B. Only because of the Harp and the 2 matches of the night was the Orton Harper match and the Elimination Chamber main event.
That's why I said I guess I'd give it an A.
Yep. So yeah, I would recommend if anyone hasn't seen this event, I would recommend the Randy Orton Luke Harper match and of course the Chamber main event. You can just skip the rest of the matches, you really wouldn't miss much. Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our thoughts about the 2017 Elimination Chamber event. So what are we gonna be reviewing next week? Since next show is your choice.
For next week, it is really going back it will be the first ever Bad Blood.
Yep. The first ever Bad Blood in 1997. That event is special because that was the first time we ever seen a Hell in a Cell match. Like the very first one.
It was the introduction of the very first Hell in a Cell.
Yep. And we know the first Hell in a Cell match was fought between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. So we'll see exactly how that match turned out next week. So until then, I will talk to you all later. Peace.
Deuces.